morning, everyone. Gina from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, where I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, January 14th, and love is in the air today. We have shaker cards, Valentine ones. So when you guys get on, say hello. Oh, gotta turn my volume off here. Tell me what's new and exciting in your world. While we're waiting for everyone to pop on, I got a few things to show you. So what I have is, I'll give you a sneak peek of a product I've been working on. As most of you know, Christine has her escape this weekend, so I chose Boardwalk Fun, and I was so excited to play with this set because it reminds me of summer. Ferris wheel, roller coaster. When my kids were younger, and they still could go, we haven't gone in a while, we would go to this place. It's called Bay Beach, and it's super affordable to take your family, and they have rides for toddlers all the way up to adults, and you could take and spend $10 to $20 and spend the entire day there, bring a picnic lunch and have a blast. So hello, Mary. So this reminded me of all those summers, so I was really excited to get this set. So here is one card, and I made a shaker with this. So we have the roller coaster in the back. I did a watercolor background. Here we got our Ferris wheel. And then there's tickets, and then there's also these puffy stickers that are part of the suite. So I did several tickets here with those puffy stickers to showcase those, and another puffy sticker here. So this set was really fun to play with, so I can't wait to show you guys all the projects I made with this. And it also comes with a scrapbook workshop. So that workshop will be featured in March, but I did some of it, so it'll be on display for the escape. So super fun. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about is, we all have new packaging for our stamps and dies, and everyone's always looking for, tips and tricks, and I thought I would give you guys one. But this stamp set here, I just wanted to kind of feature because, as you know, Stampin' Up! Started last month doing the product of the month. So the product of the month for January is called Fabulous Sayings. So it has all of these wonderful sayings here. And then last month was DSP. So let me see if I can pull that up. So it says DSP, all featured in blues. And so for anyone who places an order of $75 or more, I was part of a group that did a tutorial where there was, I don't know, how many is Chris in here? No. I think there was 10 to 14 of us that did this. So we each made a project featuring that paper. And so then you guys all, those of you who place those orders, then here we go. I lost you guys for a moment. When you place those orders, that $75 order, then you get access to that PDF. So, like I said, this is this month's stamp set, and I really, really love it because it's just got all these wonderful sentiments. Now, one thing that that kind of bothered me was that these don't match up with this. So if I am missing a stamp, I don't know it, besides there might be an empty space, or how do I have, sometimes you're playing Jenga on here, or it's a puzzle piece, trying to get your stamps to be on here just right and that. So what I did, well, I should say, what I saw demonstrators doing is they would open this up and they would take one of these plastic sheets here, and they would use tear tape and tape it down. And then they would take and stamp the images on this side. And then when they stamped, after they were done stamping the images, they taped this side down. That way when you open and close this, you just open it like that, and then you have your image here. I found that if I'm taking this in and out all the time, I'm afraid I'm gonna ruin the packaging. So I didn't want to ruin the packaging. So this is, I'm making a little more work for myself, but what I did is most of them, this is the biggest size I found. So this is a 4x6 piece of white. I'm using the 12x12 white paper, and I cut it into 4x6. And like I said, I'm making more work for myself, but in the end, I like having that piece that shows me where everything goes. So I just have my smoky slate ink here, and I'm inking it all up, keeping the stamps exactly the way they came in the packaging. Inking it up really good. And I'm going to pick this up and lay it over the top. And then I have my cheat sheet. And then instead of pulling this whole thing out and opening it and tearing it and whatever, this stays in here in my envelope like this. I'll wipe my stamps off. Like that. I can put my plastic sheet back on, and then, oh, I cleaned the wrong side, you guys. Oh my goodness, let's see. Wipe that off. All right, now you can put your plastic sheet back on. And then I have this, and I just slide them in. And then all I need to do is pull out my stamp set. I don't need to pull out any paper or anything. So I found that this is what works for me right now. Whether I'll change that in the end, I don't know. And that way I have an image on both sides when I'm flipping through my stamps. So there's just an idea for you. So now for today, guess what we're making? Shaker cards. And we are using Endless Love, and I thought it'd be fun to just make a bunch of shaker cards because this suite included these really fun shakers. So they have hearts, little sprinkles, and then these cute little tiny envelopes. Let's see if I can pull one out here. Look at these. I got two of them here. Look at that. I don't know how well you guys can see that on the camera, but how adorable is that? So it looks like we've got bubble bath, strawberry slush, real red, a little bit of black, white. So we have these really cool sprinkles and we need to use them, right? So let's get stamping. Here, I'll give you guys a peek at the cards real quick. So here we go. Ta-da. So this is what we're making today, all different shakers. And my first one here is going to be this one. So this one we have a piece of strawberry slush. Better close my ink pad right. How many of you like to make shaker cards? Okay, so I have a piece of Pretty in Pink here, embossed with the new embossing folder. So there's these pretty little hearts on here. And I'm going to slide that. This is one of our clear envelopes. This piece is going to slide right in here, like so. And you're going to have a little bit of a gap here on the side. So what we're going to do is make sure that this is down in the bottom here. You're going to have a little bit of space over here. We're going to flip this over like this. And we're going to use our tear tape and tape it closed. Good morning, Karen. I hope you're staying warm and tucked in at home today. So there we go. We have that side all tucked down. Now we're going to flip it over so that you have your front piece showing, and we're going to stick in some of our sprinkles here. Okay, so now that we did that, so that's in the front, here's our back. We're going to take, there's this little plastic liner here. I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to add a piece of tear tape right on the top here, just to make sure nothing comes over the edge. And then we're going to flip this over. Oops, almost took the tear tape off with me, like that. And that is all you need to do. And you just made yourself a shaker. So now, we'll add some more tear tape. I find tear tape works the best. Oh, you gotta work on your display. What bundle or what suite are you working with, Karen? Okay, so we've got our card base, and now we can add some of this coming up here. I didn't tape it down on the line very good, so there we go. This can go on the front of your card base. This is probably the most simple shaker card you could ever make. It's just using that clear envelope. Now, one thing you want to make sure that when you are doing shaker cards, you don't want to overfill with shaker pieces, or they will just stay stuck because it's too tight in here. So now we have this heart. We'll just pop that up on the center. Such pretty paper, and I love that it's not just red and white. You have all these different shades of pink in there too. So like that, and then we have a heart here. And we've got some X's and O's. I'm going to stamp that on our heart. Ah, with Versamark. That's the one ink I didn't grab. So you need your Versamark. You can bring in your embossing buddy. Bring in a blank piece of paper. Actually, I'll put this one back here. I'll bring this blank piece of paper in. And now that I just touched this again, I'm going to put our embossing buddy on it again. Make sure that I don't have any oily residue left over. Okay. So we've got that, like that. We'll bring in our white embossing powder. Good morning, Julie, from frigid South Dakota or North Dakota here. Yeah, I see that those temperatures are coming our way. It is not a beautiful day here. We had some type of little snowy ice storm kind of come through, and lots of accidents this morning, both in town and on the highways. So if you are from around here, either stay hunkered in or be very careful out there. I know Miss Mary Lemke is traveling from the Dakotas today. She's going to come stay with me, and I warned her this morning that we had a storm come through and brought lots of ice. So hopefully she has safe travels today as she's driving in. So we sprinkled with our white powder. Now we let the magic happen. And we let this heat up, and all of a sudden you're going to see that white get really bright. And that's that powder melting and gets shiny. And there you go, that's all done. We have a little bit of white powder from our embossing buddy, so I just used my shirt, as you guys saw, and wipe that excess powder off. Now I believe, okay, I did not with this one. I thought maybe I cut this. It must be the other card. So this will get glued on the back of our heart. I'm going to put that on an angle. And then we'll pop this up. And that'll go down here. Whoops, I didn't get my dimensional on here right. There we go. It's peeking through the front. So put this down here on the lower right. We have this black and gold bow here that we need some glue dots for, not tear tape. And we'll adhere that to the end of our little arrow here. Super cute. There we go. So there's our shaker, and we could sparkle up our heart because why not? Everything's better with a little bit of sparkle. Our wink of Stella. She's my best friend here. And now we can do the inside of our card. So we'll put that aside. And we will do Happy Valentine's Day. So how many of you like to make and send Valentine cards? I know it's one of those, as some people would say, it's a Hallmark holiday, but how many of you actually send Valentine's cards? I don't usually send a whole lot. I have nieces and nephews and godchildren that I will send some to. And I've always tucked it in my kids' backpacks so they could open it up with a little treat in it for at school. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my Valentines first. And I am going to stamp it in Secret C. Or no, I'm going to stamp it in Strawberry Slush. And then we're going to stamp Happy and Day in Secret C. And then we'll bring a little pretty and pink in. And they have this nice little cluster of hearts. And we'll just stamp them down here in our corner like that. Okay, so this is ready to go on the inside. And there we go. Card number 1 is done. So another use for those clear envelopes, those of you that aren't sure what to do with clear envelopes besides to use them for a display, you can make some great shaker cards with them. Okay, card number 2 has a real red base. We'll burnish those edges. Are white. We'll put aside. So then you have a piece of DSP. So we got some pretty polka dots. It's Strawberry Slush with real red. And that piece is going to go right on to our card base. You could do this side if you wanted, but then you won't see your letters. That goes on like that. Then in your kit you'll have a piece, a little bordered out piece where a banner was cut. You're going to flip that over and you have a piece of acetate or window sheets, and that is fit to go on here like this. So we're going to add a little bit of glue. So those are 2 things you need. If you don't use a clear envelope, you're going to want window sheets. And you're also going to need, and I'll show you in a moment, but we have the foam dimensional strips. You need those also when making a shaker card. So you're going to take your window sheet and put that on the back of your banner. Good morning, Jean. And I just got glue. Let me grab a wipe real quick. I glue on my fingers and now I ended up with glue on my window sheet. So we'll try to wipe that off. There we go. Okay, so now this is where your foam strips come in handy. You're going to put and line so you're going to put the sticky side down. I'm going to start in one corner and work my way around. So like that. So that was a leftover piece I had, so we're using that up. And then you're gonna butt this up. You wanna make sure that you get this nice and close. You don't wanna leave any space. If you leave any space in here like this, your shaker pieces are gonna fall out. And you don't want your shaker pieces to fall out. So make sure that you butt that piece up nice and tight. And push these down firmly. And butt that right up. And cut it. So just like that. And I don't want my shaker pieces to fall really low down through here. So I'm also going to put a small piece here. Like that. Okay. We'll save that for another one. So now you can take, this one we're using gold shakers. I have some gold sequins here. So these are called the loose gold sequins. And they do like to go everywhere, so be careful. And you're just going to sprinkle some in the center, like that. Okay. Now you can take your tape, backing off. Like so. And then you center that. Now if you find that you have a lot of static, you can already see that these sequins are popping up as I'm laying this down.
You don't use the cardboard.
This looks a little crooked, so I'm going to pull it up. If you have a lot of static, especially this time of year, it's really dry, what you can do is take a used dryer sheet, and you want a used one, not one that is just fresh, and rub it along your acetate sheet, and that'll help cut down on the static. Sometimes when you have too much static, your shakers just want to stick to your window sheet and cling to it versus sit and shake around. So there we go. We just made another shaker here. And make sure you press firmly around your edges to make sure everything is down good, because like I said, you don't want those shaker pieces to come through. So now I punched out an X and an O with those beautiful alphabet letters we have. So we'll put some dimensionals on those. Now maybe if you were sending this through the mail, you wouldn't want to put as many dimensionals on because we already have this popped up. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here, tilt it on the side a little bit, like that, and put my O over here, like that. I'm going to put it a little bit higher. Up here like that. And then we have these cool hearts that come in this set, and I'm just going to offset them a little bit. So I'm going to add a little adhesive. Like that, and we'll just offset just that little bit. And then we can add some glue. And I probably should have added my Wink of Stella before I did that, but I didn't. So we'll add it now. Hello, Kimberly, coming from northern Indiana. It is very snowy. We had something blow through this morning that left us with a lot of ice. So lots of accidents locally here and around the surrounding areas. So hopefully you guys don't end up with all the ice. Okay, let's sparkle up our letters. Okay, beautiful. Now all we need is a sentiment to go on the front. So you have a little piece here, and we're going to add hugs and kisses. Val, I'm not quite sure what you're asking me. And we'll bring in our real red. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to take my snips and angle my ends like that. And that's going to go there. But first we're going to add a little bit of that gold and white twine. It came out during the holidays here. It's black and gold. We'll be using some of that today. And then we have white and gold. So we're just wrapping this back and forth. Like so. We'll cut off the excess. So it looks like we tied a bow without tying a bow. How nice is that? And then we'll add some dimensionals because everything is better popped up. How do I sell my Stampin' Up! Cards? Do you mean for kits? I do sell, like, so this kit here costs $22 plus shipping. If you send me an email or you can message me on Facebook, I accept cash check, or you can do PayPal. And everything comes ready for you to assemble. All you need is some sentiment. So you'll have all the die cut pieces, the acetate, you'll get the gems, and you'll just need sentiments to put on your card. Does that help answer your questions? Okay. Time for our inside. We're going to do Happy Valentine's again. Okay, we're gonna stamp Strawberry Slush. For our Valentine's. We'll bring in Real Red to stamp Happy and Day. And I'm going to go in the middle again. I was going to offset center them, but I'm going to bring some hearts up. And now we'll bring in Pretty in Pink. You guys know, if you don't have this specific stamp set, you could always substitute with something that you already have at home. So if you have a Valentine set at home, you could easily substitute it. So now you guys saw me, I inked up my hearts. I'm stamping them off and using second strength here to add some hearts over my sentiment. How pretty is that? I don't know how well you all can see that, but it just gives that little bit of hearts right there. Okay, and then this card will be ready. There we go. So shaker card number 2 done. Isn't that pretty? I love the boldness of these colors. Okay. Number 3 is going to be this one right here. So this one, you're going to have your heart cut out already. So this heart here is what we used on our very first card. You have a gold arrow, a little tag, some twine, a heart. Here's your inside piece. We'll burnish our card base. You have a piece of Real Red that is embossed with that pretty embossing folder, and a white piece, and your window sheet. So this can get adhered to your card base. Like so. Your DSP with the heart, you're going to flip that over, and you're going to glue your window sheet to the back of it. So this goes on here like so. I'm probably putting fingerprints all over this, so I'll just wipe it a little bit with my shirt. Your shirt can double duty, everyone. And, okay, one thing I forgot about is this is an odd size. So I'm going to wash this glue off. Hold on. When you make things a while ago and you don't leave yourself notes, this is what happens. So your piece of paper here is off by 1/4 of an inch. So one side is 4 and the other side is 4 1/4. So make sure that you're lining this up the right way, or it'll be too big. So that's what happened with me. It was too big when I pulled it up. So make sure you know which side goes down first, or which direction. Hello, Sherry. How are you this morning? Okay, I got it this time. All right, there we go. So our piece of acetate is on. We're gonna stamp sending hugs, or is that what it says? Sending you. Hugs and kisses will be our thing. And I'm gonna stamp it in Secret C this time instead of the red to see if it pops out just a little bit more. And you guys can decide. You guys can take a vote and decide which one you like better. Now remember, you wanna make sure that your sentiment, that you're going to see that. So I feel I stamped my sentiment a little bit low here, so I'm actually gonna try to stamp it up a little bit higher in my piece. So just be aware of your borders when you're putting this on, or stamping this on. And hopefully, like that. There we go. So make sure you put your piece over the top to make sure it's where you want it, because you could always flip it over if you didn't stamp it correctly. Well, I'm glad you were able to catch me live, Sherry. It's always nice when people can catch me live. Okay, so we'll bring in the hugs and kisses. And we'll stamp that on our little white tag. Okay, so got everything stamped. We're gonna bring this piece in and we're gonna add, remember we're using the foam strips for this. And I don't necessarily want to use a piece that doesn't connect down here on, you know, I don't want two strips right here. I want one solid piece just to make sure that I don't have anything sneaking through that little peak down there. So remember, butt these up nice and tight. Man, look at that, it's almost exact there. I have a little piece here. There we go. And then I'm just gonna bring in two little pieces to stick there. So that they don't go flat. Okay, so there we go.
The pink is already gone. She's already pulled it.
They're working hard in the hive today, prepping for the escape. Cutting, sorting, all that fun stuff. And kitties are drinking away. I turn around to grab a drink quick and there's a kitty sitting in the sink. Okay, so we're gonna bring in our little Valentine shakers. Put some in the center, and I don't want a dimensional back in my shaker card. As you know, we find those everywhere, right? So we put some in the center here, and then we're going to place this over the top, and I'm going to flip it over and just make sure that my white is covering all the edges here. And then press firmly. Okay, and then this will go in the center. It's dry in here today, and I'm getting warm.
She must have combined those packs or something.
So that goes like that. Wow, excuse me, guys.
Yeah, that's all I got too. So then,
All right. If you get some that are stuck, they get clumped together. You just tap it a little bit. I'm gonna grab something. I'll be right back.
so those are the ones she just must have double tapped on. She just pulled the pins out.
Okay. We're gonna style up our heart. Like so, and then I am going to cut my gold arrow in half. And it will go on like that. And do the same with the end piece.
Use the white specialty.
Okay. Add some dimensionals. And then this is gonna go on an angle on your heart. And then I'm just gonna glue this onto our card base.
We don't have to pull any of that, right? I don't think she said to pull one.
So you can see the difference now
I see. Just the two white sheets.
of using the Secret C or the red, and just having my sending you up there just a little bit higher. This one was a little bit lower. Having it higher, you can see your sentiment a little bit better, and your heart doesn't cover it up. So there we go. And then we'll add our bow.
That's what she said, there's only 3 in a pack.
And we'll put that right over that hole that's in our sentiment. And there we go. Hello, Linda. So there we go. So you can decide if you'd want to use red ink at home or if you want to use Secret C. We'll bring in Happy Valentine's Day.
There's only 3 in the thing.
again.
So that's why.
And Secret C. You like the second one. Okay. I thought it just helps the sentiment pop just a little bit. And then I'll offset these just a little bit this time.
So I'm going from the bottom for the bottom. And
Like that.
and the top to the top. Does that make sense?
We'll bring in our hearts again. Hello, Christina. And then on the bottom like that. And don't forget to do your envelopes. Whether with DSP or with stamps. Okay, card number 3 done. Ta-da! Okay, and for our final card, we use the alphabet again, and we've got love cut out, and then each little letter is its own little shaker. So instead of filling the whole space up like we did with this card, we're actually going to go through and kind of block off each letter so that there's a little bit of shaker pieces in each letter versus just all sitting down in the bottom. So this one, I ran out of window sheets. Can you guys believe that? I ran out of window sheets and I didn't have enough, and I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? And luckily I had enough scraps that were big enough. So what I did, and this works for this one because I don't necessarily, because you have the white space in between, so it's okay that I have 2 separate pieces for this card. The banner card or the heart card that we just did, we would not be able to do that with. So I found one piece that just barely fit on here. So I already have that piece adhered on. And then I had one other strip that was big enough that I cut down to cover the 2 top ones. Now in these kits, you will get 1 full sheet, but I ran out and I have more hopefully coming today. Not sure with the weather if that will delay my shipping by a day or not, but hopefully my window sheets will be in and they'll be ready to kit up. But so like I said, you'll get 1 full sheet, but I'm using 2 pieces. So if you're ever in a jam and you've got something like this, know that you guys can do this too. So this is a great way to use up those acetate extra pieces that you have. So we'll line that up. And I did butt both pieces together. So we have that. We have our card base and strawberry slush. We have a piece of DSP. And you're going to have a little circle in here. The circle is not a scrap. It is actually for part of your O, so don't throw that piece away. You have a little heart, another little arrow, and white scraps. So now we will bring in our strips again. And go. We're going to do the whole rectangle first.
It's circles, blotches, big blotches.
And then we'll go through and go in between. Mary, what adhesive did you use on love. Are you talking underneath the window sheet, Mary? I use liquid glue. And then these are the foam strips. So I just need a little piece here. Like I said, make sure that you butt these up really good so that no little guys try to sneak out. And then I'm going to go through here like this and kind of outline like that. And I should have done this piece first. So put this middle piece across. Like that. Use this right here.
Yes, that's the pair. So we need these. These are, she just sent them. These are. That's what I'm doing. So you have to pull one from these.
We're just kind of going in between everything.
She said you had to pull one from every. Do you see on everything?
And now it's up to you if you want to put another piece here or not. You don't necessarily need to, but I want to keep the shaker pieces mostly in the letters and not so much in the other spaces. Okay, so there we go. We got all of our pieces in there. Make sure you push these down, especially in these corners where you're turning it and bending it. I kind of want to twist, it wants to twist a little bit. So just make sure that you're pushing everything down nice and firm, like that.
Oh, that's the, so that's the one that's full, so the one here. One of those pink, is that what that is, Rita? They both have to get pulled. This pink one is in here, and then the next one. Okay, because it.
Okay.
That's one set, that's.
So this one's going to be a little bit trickier because
And
we want to make sure that
you're only gonna have one of those.
our pieces
You're only gonna have one of each.
land in each letter, right?
I have two, you one, of every color. Okay, alright, so that's gonna say.
So I'm putting some
I have two, you have one. Okay.
little shaker bits in each letter. Now you could try to place little dollops in here, but I'd be afraid that I wouldn't get like the L right, or they would land in the wrong spot. So this one is, you kind of have to go on blind faith. And what I do is I turned it so I have the long way here, so I can see basically 3 sides of my card, right? And I'm going to take, I want this light side, and make sure your DSP is going in the direction that you want. So I want my flowers going up, so they're going to be by the L and the O, like that. When you have about it ends up being, you know, 1/8 of an inch around. So I just try my best to eyeball it. and I did not do my best, so we're going to try it again. Lift it up carefully so you don't have sprinkles everywhere. And make sure you don't have any sprinkles laying on top of your adhesive. So we'll try it again. This feels better. I'm still not getting it today. Now, when I did it the first time, it was easy, right? So you just pull your piece up and you keep doing it till you get it the way you want. Ay, ay, ay. The struggle is real. Third time's the charm. It is not working for me today, no matter what I do. Okay, let's try it. I'm going to do it again. I hope you guys are all getting a good laugh watching me. Here we go. This is it. This is better. Not the best, but I did not forget my O yet. I'll put my O on once I get this all adhered. Okay. Guys, I'm not happy with this, so I'm going to keep going. We might be here all day putting this one piece on.
Oh, no, it's right here. It was my pet.
Okay. There we go. Now I'm happy. There we go. So, whew. Be patient. It will come. So now this is where I will take my O and I will adhere this on. Now just be aware too, when you're using liquid glue, it does need a minute to set. It will slide around very easily on your window sheet. Okay. Add some Stella. Practice makes perfect. You are right, Karen. Oh, and then this one had this nice little sentiment. So we got love and today and always. So I thought that worked out really nice with this set. So we'll stamp on our piece of white here and strawberry slush.
She did come back and say that it doesn't matter because they did cut in fours.
And then you're going to take and trim. We're going to break up the word here. And then we're going to cut this down just a little bit. There we go. Now, this is going to go in the center with our little arrow. We have to cut our arrow in half again. Oh, my heart is so nice and sparkly.
Bad news is that we didn't order it. The good news is that none of that paper got used in any of the trailer cards. So when today, it'll come on Friday, and I can just chop it up real quick and give it to people in no time. So knowing that, then these cardboards.
Okay. So then,
We need a white cardboard underneath each one of them. Oh, that's really kind of pretty.
there we go. Then we'll pop this up.
So we didn't use this one in everything. If this sparkle paper wasn't used in the design of anything either, so you didn't have to pull out anything. We didn't. You didn't? Perfect.
We double checked to make sure we didn't.
Okay, yeah, perfect. And then did you have enough of this or you need one more pack of this?
They're strategically planning over there.
That's what it is.
So this goes in the center of our
Right now.
card like that, and then I'll put today and always. We'll pop them up.
Okay. So these are all extras. Oh, these are all extras. Yes.
Sounds like they ran out of some stuff here.
Okay, I think so.
And you want us to
So that'll go
white one and
in the center of our O here,
You want to take them up?
and then
That sounds good. Okay. Oh, but then there's the balance.
red? Like on one side.
over our little V. Here, isn't that cute? Oh,
And one of them does get pulled out.
okay. So now, this can go onto our card base.
Oh, I found one of these guys.
Like so,
That's only a half a pack.
and then we'll bring this in. What did I do? Okay. Just seeing what I did on this one. We're gonna do some more Happy Valentine's Day.
Sliding around, right?
Oh, maybe we'll do a little something different here. I wonder. Okay. So we're gonna do this all in strawberry slush. And then we have
So just get one sheet.
this striped heart. I haven't used it yet. I want to use it. So we're going to take the striped heart here. I don't know how well we will see this, but we'll try it. If we don't like it, we'll flip it over, right? We're going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it, okay? Bring it in. We're using Pretty in Pink. We're going to stamp on our scrap paper here, and then we're going to go over the top
We're eating that one, so.
like so. Yay! I love it when it turns out.
I don't know how many there are like that.
So look at that. We'll see if we can see it better. There we go. So it just lightly shows through. So I love that. Okay.
Well, then we'll just put this, so we should need 4 of those, it should be.
There we go.
I lied.
Here are our 4 cards for today. Whoops. Now, remember, this is where you guys can find me, Glitter and Ink with Gina. Make sure you're following me on my Facebook page. That is where I update everything. If you would like to be added to my email list, you can email me at ginalbulo@gmail.com. You can message me, text me, call me, whatever, if you want kits. These kits are available to order. We'll give you guys until the 24th to place your order. Now, as always with all of my classes, you can either pay the fee for the class or you can place an order and get the cards for free. Completely up to you which way you want to do it. Now, I'll bring in the cards again one last time so you can see the 4 cards. I know some of you came in a little bit later. So, here are 4 shaker cards for you today. So we featured Valentine's, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. So like I said, these kits are available. Now, I don't. Oh, I do. Let me look at my calendar here. I've got my calendar right here, and I'm gonna put in my videos here so you guys can note that. So I have a lot coming up, but everything's kind of
Yes.
later in the month, but a lot happening. Let's see. What do we got? I will be back. Those of you doing the escape, I'll be back. I'll be presenting scrapbook stuff for the escape. And so I'll be here on Friday doing that. And then I am back. Here we go.
So this one, this one. I got you.
All right. I'm in the wrong month. That's why I can't find anything. Okay. So I'll be back next week Friday. Or not next week Friday. Friday the 23rd. The workshop kit class. 6 scrapbook pages that are alternatives to the workshop. We are using I think it's called Love Story. So it's the Valentine scrapbook workshop. We'll create 6 alternative pages along with 5 cards. So that I will be live on YouTube on the 23rd, but we will be in person on the 24th. Then we will have morning create on the 26th. The 28th, I know if you look at Chris's calendar, it says my scrapbook class, and I'm using my scrapbook class because I'm doing the workshop classes as kind of like my alternative class. So this month I decided to do a stamp a stack using the Brushed with Beauty suite. So we're going to do that on the 28th on YouTube, and then we'll be in person on Saturday the 31st. So that's what I have coming up this month for you. And don't forget, if you place a $75 order, to add that product of the month. I think that product of the month is really great. This month it is all of these sentiments here. Now, last I saw, both product of the months were available. So December was some blue DSP, and this month is a stamp set. From my understanding is, though, if you wanted both of those, and the December one is still available last I saw, I'm not sure if it still is, because this is while supplies last, you would have to place 2 separate $75 orders in order to get both of those. I believe you cannot do like a $150 order. You have to place 2 separate orders to get each one. So that is how the product of the month works. And then when you place that $75 order, you get, you can purchase this for an additional $5. So that's the product of the month. Linda, this class is $22 plus shipping. I don't know if you order from Christine. I assume you do. We sometimes will combine shipping, so if you have stuff coming, I can send mine with yours to help reduce the cost of shipping. But you do have to let me know when you guys want to combine shipping, because I'm not sure sometimes who has orders with Christine and who has orders with just me. So you do need to let me know when you email me or message me that you want to condense shipping. So let me know that. Like I said, I have a lot coming up this month. The scrapbook workshop is a $70 order. You need to order the workshop with it, or if you have that workshop already, you can order $70 worth of product. And then I send you an additional kit. That additional kit includes ribbon, gems, cardstock, more die cut pieces, plus we're making the alternatives. So I will send you that. And the Stamp a Stack will also be a product-based class. I haven't figured out the price on that yet. I believe I'm gonna make about 10 cards. There'll be 5 cards, 2 designs, and you'll get a pack of DSP, ribbon, and gems to go with it. So that is what I have coming up this month. And I don't think I have anything else. So I am hoping to get an email out soon with all those details. Watch my Facebook post for the events. And I think that's all I have. So I hope you all have a great day. Stay warm and stay inside and craft. That sounds pretty good to me. So have a great one, guys, and I will see you soon. Thank you.